time for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Check.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. Barbershop J, your host for the day. Alongside D Gully, Coach D. And here's what's happening. As you all know by now, the San Antonio Spurs defeated the two-time defending national champion Kentucky Heat 4-1 in the 2014 NBA Finals. Personally, I'm glad that the non-brand won and that the brand didn't win. Because when the brand wins, it sends the wrong message to all the young ball players that you can stack the deck and win, or stacking the deck is the way to win. At the end of the day, how do you challenge yourself as a player on any level if you got all the best players on your team, or you playing on a team with all the best players? I say no. The Spurs proved that the way to win is and will always be passing and cutting. So Gully, I want to ask you first. How is it that the Spurs were able to do what they did against the best player on the planet in the Miami Heat?
Okay, well, it's very simple. You want to talk about the divine or super strategy. It's very simple. In a moment, when you think about the game breaks, when you listen to Pop, all he says is, don't let the ball stick. And you have players that play unselfish enough to not allow that to happen. Not let the ball stick. Keep it moving. They have enough in their abilities to do that. On the defensive end, they take pride in playing defense. They never slack. A bad defensive possession on their part isn't cause for them to be disinterested. It causes them to engage further.
And that's interesting. That kind of surprised me more so than LeBron's disappearing act, as you said before. The Spurs how they were able to defend the Miami Heat. Yeah, seriously, I wasn't expecting them to hold them, especially in the closeout game, to what?
I tell you what.
13 points.
I tell you what. Defending them is a matter of defending LeBron. And defending LeBron is a matter of keeping one person on him all the time, okay? And not succumbing to the temptation of the double team because he's so potent. But if LeBron makes that, he gets in his own way. For his basketball IQ, for him to have this high
alleged,
IQ, well, let's just say
suppose.
I don't know, Coach D. You may agree with me. This when it comes to LeBron and his supposed high IQ, why is it that he would put himself in a position
to be a detriment to the team in overall?
And here's how he does that.
Okay.
By him being a superb ball handler and distributor on the court with people who are less superb at being able to handle the ball or distribute, okay, or having little else to be able to contribute, if that's the case. No disrespect personally to Mario Chalmers or Norris Cole as the point guards, but if you do the one thing that they can do best and expect them to do what they're not naturally given to do, do you not help or overwork yourself and work yourself into a pinch?
Well, first of all, he didn't disappear. 31-10-5 in the closeout game is.
If it didn't have an impact on the game, yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
He set the final 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
He could have had 50 just to do a stat line or pad the stats if you say those 31 came in. He tried to keep his team in it. The better team won. Period. Hands down. Now the fact of the matter of how you defend him, again, Gunny, you're right. I can't add no more to that. He's a detriment to himself. He's that good that he hurts himself because he's allowed to play point guard, so they take their true point guard off the floor and bring in other positions that they feel like they can help. The thing about that is, to me, I think it was a panic move by Spoelstra because Popovich never succumbed to any changes. I think Splitter started the first game. I think that was it. Then he went to a matchup with Dion, and they stayed the same. But when LeBron goes to the point and he bring in Ray Allen, you just shot your bench. He was the only one. He was the only one on the bench giving you anything. So when you look at what we say, Gully, 50-2 bench scoring or 40-14,
yeah,
That's what you get when you take your only spark off the bench and start him, and then you take your starting point guard and bury him, and then ask him to give you something to close out game. As much as nobody want to say this, Spoelstra cost them a lot in that game too.
Hold it. Stop right there. Stop right there. First of all, let me go back to this. He did disappear. I'm gonna tell you why.
Sir.
I'm gonna tell you why he disappeared.
No, sir.
I'm gonna tell you why he disappeared. When I watched the finals, I turned off the sound. Okay, and I watched the game. When the game started out, I saw Miami jump out to a 22-6, if I'm not mind you, run, and I saw him have a large part in that. 17 points. Whatever the case may be. After that, I know he played more minutes because he sat out the last 7 minutes of the entire 48 minutes, right? So after that, so hold on. So in between that 22-point run and him sitting out the last 7 minutes, it seemed to me like he was a non-factor. That's what I mean by disappearing. Let me say this to you too. This is the second thing. When we talk about IQ, basketball IQ means, especially if you're the so-called great player or a great player, understanding in what ways is it best for me to help my team this night. That's what IQ means. He himself has to say, you know what? I'm going to put the ball in his hands, and I'm going to play off the ball. That's what IQ means, understanding from the player's perspective, this is what I have to do while we're out here on the floor to help the team win.
Okay, and it also, IQ also means knowing whether, looking at your eyes, knowing y'all gonna bring it, come with me, or y'all not.
That's not IQ. That's not IQ.
Hold on. So
that's not IQ.
He's still supposed to wait on them, and they don't have nothing. I don't know how much.
Now listen.
17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 for 3 in the first quarter. He was spent. That's what
I said. That's what I'm talking about disappearing. But listen, hold on.
He disappeared, but who showed up?
That's just it. We don't know. It was a live or it was a memory rate. That's my point. Here's the thing. And but just for comparison's sake, and it's not us, but for all those people who love this, put him in the same conversation with Jordan. I don't know which game it was. Was it game 6 or game? No, it was never. Couldn't have been game 7 because Jordan didn't go to a game 7.
Never.
Okay, against the Phoenix Suns. Jordan took 37 shot attempts and had 55 points. Now forget the rebounds and all of that and whatever it is the case may be. I need to know, as the best player, when you're a player in another stratosphere, that's what I'm talking about here. If I see, it's only going to take me a few minutes to see, you know what, Gully ain't got it tonight. Delmar ain't got it tonight. Then I need to do more. If what I'm playing for is really important to me, then I need to do more. Because here's the thing too, again.
But we're not robots. He's human. He played 1,400 more minutes than Wade.
I don't care.
And 600 more minutes than But that's a lot.
I don't listen.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Hold on, but do the math.
That's a lot. It's not a lot if you're a Tonka truck.
No, listen.
Or if you tough skins.
James, they did the math. That still came out to be 18 more games. He played 18 more games than his supporting cast. He was spent.
Well, again, that goes back to him understanding what he needs to be effective. I look for example, right? Has it came to be known as, he was with the Miami Cavaliers, he feels like he's back in Cleveland again. We look at, he's doing everything, nobody else is doing nothing, right? Everybody else standing wrong. The guy who's the best dribbler, best shooter, best driver on the team had the ball in his hands all the time. I'll give you a point of reference. The Christmas Day game, I believe in 2009 or 2010. Against the Lakers, yes. Okay. Well, I saw in that game, and remember, what was most notable about the game was the fact that the Lakers fans on national TV threw food on the court and booed their team out of the gym because LeBron's Cavs really, put a pounding on them. But this is what happened in that game that I saw very rarely before or since, if ever. When, a basket was made off the inbound, maybe Anthony Parker would pass it in to Mo Williams. Mo Williams would get the ball, and here comes LeBron, clapping his hands, asking for the ball, to bring it up the court. Yeah. Mo Williams would send him down the court. Send him, say, no, you're going to get this when I give it to you. And I will give it to you. All right? Because of that, they had to run plays. LeBron was moving off of screens. Screens were set for him. And he got the ball in prime peak position to shoot, dribble, or pass when he's 18 feet from the basket. Made him dangerous. Made him nearly unstoppable. And also, mind you, Mario Chalmers, Mo Williams had a nice scoring game as well. If your ball handlers are your ball handlers, and that's the one thing that they could do, I don't know what else B.J. Armstrong could do well. But if you go back to those NBA Finals, there's a game that he was the second highest scorer.
Okay, let me throw this out here. It's been said long since LeBron been in the league that he makes everybody else better. So I don't want to hear that about he ain't had no help. If you got a guy that truly makes everybody else better, then not having no help when you got a super team already, that should not even be in the equation. And let me say this too. Michael Jordan, and I'm not comparing him to him. We're just talking about performance. We're talking about effort. And if you're playing for whatever it is that's at stake, okay, regardless of the level, I want that gold ball. Against the Boston Celtics, Jordan dropped 63 points. Now, we all knew watching it, oh, that's not enough. He needs help, you know. That's not enough. One man can't beat a team. But why it was so happening, Larry Bird and Dennis Johnson, all them, they wasn't sure about it. Because he let every time up and down that floor for an entire, I don't care how many minutes he played, Jordan would let them know on every possession. Y'all better be glad I ain't got Scotty right now. You know what I'm talking about?
But again, for you say, like everyone does say, he makes everybody better. He makes a good basketball decision. At that point, that's all he could do. If them guys ain't hitting shots, there's nothing he can do. He can always
do
make
more.
the right. If I pass you the ball wide open and you miss a shot, it's my fault.
Nah, it's my fault if I get it back to you.
He has to still make the right basketball play again the next time out of the court.
Listen, but here's the thing though. With him being such the galvanizing, the all this, the all everything kind of player, I can put the onus. So in other words, if I pass it to you at 10 feet and you miss, I say, well, you know what? This is IQ. The next time down, I'm gonna make sure I'm in a better position because can't nobody really. I'm unguardable. Right. When you playing with a player on the floor that's unguardable, there are no excuses.
Well, that's just it.
That's it. Okay, he was unguardable in the first quarter. 17 points. Hold on. Let me finish my statement. 17 points, 16 rebounds, 2 threes. Okay, the second quarter, y'all can't get my back. They scored 14 points in the second quarter.
Well,
you can't be real
it was
with
a
that.
matter of an adjustment. See that, and then this plays into
what adjustment? With who?
San Antonio.
LeBron sat out. LeBron sat in the second quarter. He came back. He sat out. Wade came back. Wade came in. The Miami Heat scored a total of 16 points in the second quarter.
You know why?
With him on the bench.
You know why? And that's because everybody had to fill in a role that they had not played before. LeBron
scoring the basketball. Wade was the first option for 9 years. When LeBron goes sit out, Wade didn't know that he had to pick up scoring. Bosh didn't know he had to pick up scoring.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then.
The rhythm was gone.
At the end of the day, then do what Mike did. He told Steve Kerr before the play happened, they're going to double me in the corner. You better hit this shot. And you better hit this. I'm sorry, man. When you on another plateau, man, I mean, well, you know, and I know it's a different sport, but maybe it's just me. I know I watch the NFL Network, America's Game. Well, they're going through all of these best teams of the 60s and 70s and whatever that's. I watch players like Mike Dicker. Jack Youngblood, they play in the Super Bowl. These dudes playing with broken legs. It's just beyond me that if you wearing the clown, then you gotta go down. You go down with the ship regardless. If you ain't scoring, you know, Spo, get him out. If you play to win, if I got to get the grandma in the first row, then I want her out here.
Well, and I didn't even know Michael Beasley had a uniform on up under his warm-up.
Thank you.
He played 11 dudes, and they still stuck the joint up.
That's my point.
I thought Michael Beasley had on church shoes up under his thing because he ain't been dressing.
That's my point, man.
This team was greatly exposed and
overrated,
and they were overrated
all day, every day.
Period. That team was grossly overrated, man. Because if you go against the big three and you get beat by the other three, that's a problem. San Antonio did not have one player on All NBA nothing this year. Yeah. Not first team, second team, not third team, not honorable mention. Where's the gold ball at?
And didn't play AAU, I don't think. I mean, right. To the best of my knowledge.
Where that gold ball at?
Yeah.
In Texas.
Yeah, overrated. Going to the next question. What does this finals do for the legacies of Duncan and LeBron?
First of all, for Tim Duncan.
Now hold up. You sure you don't want the second question?
No, he got that's too late. You already started.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You already started. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, see how you jumping gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
On your mark and set, go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Red light, green light.
For Duncan, when it comes to Tim Duncan and maybe Greg Popovich, but let's just stick with the players, the ones wearing the jerseys at this moment. When it comes to him, the magic number for Tim Duncan is 15. 15 years between championships.
Wow.
From 1999 to 2014. I don't know another player in American sports
That should be called the best player on the planet. Oh, my God.
yeah, okay, right. I don't know of another player in American sports who has a championship span. Now, there are probably guys on rosters or what have you, but if you think about what Tim Duncan did and what his points and his contribution to the game was, clearly, if you watch the games during the season, his imprint was definitely on the team, even if he wasn't a leading scorer or even a leading rebounder on the night. His imprint was there. What he performed in clutch moments, and clutch moments could be in the fourth quarter, or it could be, when the team was on the run, we need to stymie a run. His clutch performances there, he has significant scoring 15 and 10 as he was scoring 24 and 14, boards in 99.
And hold your thought, which leads me again to that effort.
Yeah.
If he had 14 points and 9 rebounds, it looked like 45 points and 38 rebounds.
Because of when they came.
That's what I'm saying, what LeBron was missing.
Now let me add to that.
You feel me?
Let me continue when it comes to Tim Duncan, all right? Think about inside of 15 years, is when you book in the championships he won, right? In between those 15 years, between his championships, 1 and 5, there's also 2, 3, and 4. And there are also the times when they should have repeated. I mean, think about it like this. The one problem that people probably would have in recognizing the full potential of Tim Duncan's greatness is that he never repeated. And the thing about it is that may be a valid argument because in every year when they won the title, they were really the
That's splitting hairs to me.
But I mean, they were odds-on favorites to repeat because the team was that strong. This team is as strong as ever. And I believe Tim Duncan is not going to retire, or he's going to weigh heavily if he will retire, because he really had, I believe, they really feel like
goals,
they want to repeat. And I think that they have the horses to do it. What does this championship run do for his legacy? I personally think he should surpass LeBron right now, definitely. I think
I say in terms of the eye test.
Overall, I really do think it because who can do this for 15 years? And think about it, another thing too. Not even Jordan can do this. How many players can say they spent their entire career with a winning record? 50 wins at least for every season that you've ever played. Inside of a conference in the last 15 years that was proven to be stronger than its counterpart. Inside of a division for the last 5 years, matter of fact, the last 2 Western Conference champions were in the same division.
See, and that's another thing. If we stop allowing TV to tell us what select company be, you stop and think about that.
Right.
That's select company by itself.
Absolutely.
It doesn't get no more select than that.
And listen,
turn that TV off.
Like you said, he booked in 1 and 15, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, and how many? It was that's six NBA Finals appearances.
Yes.
It's at 15.
Right.
We're doing the math. That's every other year. But then to put some more sauce on it, how many times did he get to the Western Conference Final and lose? That's another 3 or 4. So you can make an argument for 10 out of this man's 15 years. He's been playing for something. Right. He's been playing for something. That's a good homework for us. I'm going to look up and find out, has he ever lost in the first round?
They lost in the first round.
Once.
2009.
Yeah, against
Dallas. No, they lost in the first round twice. 2009 versus Dallas and 2011 versus Memphis. But we know why that happened, though. That was a real humble.
But again, go back and look. Now, if they want to say, well, he lost in the first round, because there's some people that do that. They'll take that. He lost in the first round, so you just hating. Nah. Look at the quality of opponent. Isn't that another?
He didn't lose to the Washington Wizards.
Thank you.
No disrespect.
Isn't that something that we use to gauge, or I don't like to use the word judge, but critique our champions? Or if you're a championship kind of player,
the level of competition you face.
It's the level of competition you face is a factor in there. It's guys like Rayford Austin and Deshaun Stevenson. I still can't get past that. And calling you the best Mount Rushmore. I got some rocks for you. Moving on. How did Kawhi Leonard manage Finals MVP.
He is a James Worthy type player. Okay, he is.
I'm not asking you.
Hey.
Stop it. You had your turn. You went out of turn.
Okay.
Go sit
He
down.
jumped the gun and he went out of turn.
Yeah, I ain't went out of turn. It just, man, it's just like
It's real simple.
James Worthy.
It's real simple. Scottie Pippen. It's real simple how he was.
Mark Eaton.
No,
My bad.
How he earned. I want to say given or crowned. He earned NBA Finals MVP on the strength of he played both sides of the court.
And here's something even more remarkable. I'm going to let you finish that, Coach.
Oh, you cut him?
I can.
All right.
I'm the cutter.
All right.
He averaged 17.8 points per game. So that's pedestrian. Basically,
He did.
you understand what I'm talking about? So to me, and I know it's more than just the points, but in this case, I look at the points because I think Finals MVP. 17.8 points a game. You know, they just like, well, how did you get that? You know what I'm saying? I gave you $2 and you came out the store with $3,000 worth of groceries.
Right.
How did that happen?
Because usually the MVP is synonymous with scoring.
And
a large impact of it. You know what?
Okay.
He shot his team, to the championship. He shot them to the ball. But Kawhi's impact, like we stated a few minutes ago, when you score these baskets, when you defend, when you get a steal, when you get this key rebound, when you shoot this key three-pointer, when you get this key block, he done it all. And so his 17 points, shooting almost close to 50% from the field, 7-8 rebounds, they were crucial.
Right.
San Antonio needed those. They either stopped the Miami run or pushed the San Antonio run over the top to bury Miami, or he stopped the LeBron run. But I was in awe of his performance, just on the fact that he didn't match him point for point, but he matched him effort for effort. And at some point in time, his effort was better than LeBron's. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that, but at some point in time, his effort was.
He won't say it, yeah.
Right, but he met the challenge.
But see,
and like a long time ago, like we always say, guys knew that Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, rolling up to the stadium or rolling up into their house, man, they ain't eat for 2 days. Let James say Pepto Bismol night. We got Mike. Hey, check this out, y'all. I won't be scoring tonight. I'll be taking the ball out. And I'll be jump ball. I got that dude. No, you got to go back at him. You got to make Mike, LeBron, all them dudes, and Kobe defend on the other end too. Whether you shoot the ball with your eyes closed or not, you go guard me. And a lot of times Mike played free safety and played the passing lanes. And don't get me wrong, he was a great defender. But again, he had a lot of energy on the other end because dudes were scared of him. Not Joe Dumars, not Sidney Moncrief. No, Mike, you go get some of this too. Dominique, you go get some of this too, Mike.
Or
you know what I'm saying?
Or Ron Harper.
That's the thing you said. A lot of people don't want to hear this as far as Kawhi, gave more effort than LeBron. Well, y'all need to hear this because at the end of the day, the Spurs basically played what we call blacktop basketball. And no matter, when we all grew up playing blacktop basketball, no matter how many times I lost, and it's been many a times I went to Wood Hill, check it out, you understand, and lost 9, 10, 12 times in a row. I kept coming back because I'm going to keep coming back till I get one. And if you're a basketball player, and I mean a guy who go out and drink a couple Michelob's, barbecue, and then shoot some with your friend, that's one thing. Let me know that's what you are. Then I'm going to stop looking at you like you Dominique or Jordan or somebody. You know what I'm saying? But if you come up in here and tell me you're a baller, then you have to be judged accordingly. And I'm using the word, yes I am, accordingly. You have to be judged accordingly.
Can you spell it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, ACC accordingly.
But real, like I said, he earned it, y'all. I mean, I would have made a little push for on the sentimental pick with Diaw. Boris Diaw. He played that point forward as
yes, he did.
Band, like as best I've seen in a while. I mean, I like my back in the day. I would like Anthony Mason. But Mason couldn't shoot like Diaw.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
the Knicks ran a version of it, but that extra ball handler that San Antonio had, which was another gear.
But an extra IQ?
Yes, an extra basketball IQ, which turned, man, the thing about San Antonio was, I know we get off Kawhi. Kawhi, congratulations, he deserved it. But when you have multiple people that can handle the ball, man, it shifts their court like on an axle. And when Miami's defense is set for you to make one pass, maybe two. That third, fourth, or fifth pass, they don't have an answer for that.
Okay, so here's what you're saying ultimately is, and I'm going to use a football analogy. The Spurs do on offense what I like the Browns to do on offense. Make the defense have to defend the entire field. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
The Spurs make you defend that entire half court. And matter of fact, what's even more special to me about San Antonio, if you notice how when they start out trying to get a transition basket.
Right.
Now if you make them, if you done got back, now you done force them in the half court. Okay, we can do that too. But we trying to run on you every time down the floor, unless it's a clock situation. Going to the second half.
And that's another thing
that type
too,
of thing, whatever.
that speaks to Tim Duncan and his greatness. That team is totally different from the 05 team that won the final.
Every last team has been different since they've been winning.
Right.
Except for him, Ginobili, and Parker.
To be able to run when you run and be able to do a half court, I don't know of another team that has that sort of versatility to that degree. Matter of fact, there isn't one that can do it as well either way. Some teams they got a decent transition game, but they're really a half court team. Some teams have a phenomenal transition game and they can't really do it. This team is a top tier. You can say, hey, you know what transition teams? The Spurs and the Thunder and Miami. Half court team. The Spurs and ain't nobody else running half court better than us.
And then too now we saying this. The Spurs took a strength of Miami and turned it into a weakness. They didn't turn the ball over.
No, they didn't allow it.
How do you win 2 titles when the team you just want to don't turn the ball over, and that's 90% of how you eat?
Right.
And listen, and not only
think about that.
Yeah, look, and not only how they eat, they took everything that Miami done well, worked against them. Defense, running, transition. San Antonio said, not today.
So that's what I asked. So that's the question I asked.
Offensive glass, offensive rebounds. Those right there.
So that's the question.
That's why I did not want, or I didn't prefer OKC to win. Because Russell and KD shoot too many jumpers. Miami is gone.
Yeah.
Ibaka's not rebounding. He thought doing the wing with them. You know, San Antonio got people that play their roles and assign to the glass and assign to the lane, so we can, like Gully just said, get them offensive rebound, put back on another possession, then set it up and run the clock again. OKC, who's been shooting from the parking lot, right into Miami's hands, lead to dunks, oops, and playing in the crowd, and to my opinion, they would have three-peated.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I asked you then, if the Spurs took them completely out their hookup, you talking about 1 or 2 passes, then that tells me that you really don't do whatever it is you've been doing. You're really not good at it, really.
But no, Miami.
You don't have a counter.
Well, no, what is it that you really do then?
No, Miami is a 1-2 pass team. Then look at the Brown Sabres.
That's because that's the today BA. The reason why they're able to get that off is because the 2/3 of the league is hot garbage. Like a guy told me the other day, he the best in the league. Okay, well, hold on, young fella. You saying that like the bad boy Pistons is still playing, okay? We got guys like Roy Hibbert, Ofer. You 7'11", but you can't get a point, huh? And you playing on the court with guys like Muggsy Bogues. Like, wait, Muggsy, I love Muggsy. I'm just saying, man.
You can't beat that on the head enough about basketball IQ, and that's what Roy Hibbert lacks. I've been telling kids since they were 5, you a big man, you bring the ball down the little man world, it ain't your ball no more. How many times Roy Hibbert get the ball and drop it down to his waist?
Drop it down to his waist. Exactly.
Then looking for the ref for a foul. Oh, no, that's their world.
Yeah.
Don't go up there, you 7 for 11, James say. You 7 for 11.
You ain't got no business coming down. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. You ain't got no business coming down below the clouds.
If you had any doubt whether the Spurs were going to win this series, it should have been erased at the point that you saw Thiago Splitter stop putting the ball down for rebound.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
When he started dunking, I started understanding that a dunk is not only a fanfare shot, but actually a high percentage one as well.
And it sends a message. It lets the shot blocker, or if there is a shot blocker, let him know. Yes. Don't put your fingers to. You might get your fingers broken.
Right. When he started doing that, then you knew it was over. And when he got that rejection, redemption for getting stuffed by LeBron at the basket. When he got that, that's when everything was over. That's when it was.
That was in Game 6. But no, go back to Game 1. I think Splitter may have got ripped about 3 times. Maybe I don't know if it was on consecutive plays, but it was almost kind of clammed up together. Somebody said something to him, because after that, the elbows got square and the ball got high.
Yes.
Somebody said something because it was to the point where he wasn't even dribbling.
Yes.
It was to the point where I'm like, you ain't going to dribble? No, I'm going to take this one long step, and I'm going to go here, and you're going to hit on this, and it's going to be a foul. You know what I'm saying? So, again, give Pop some of that, man. he made me again proud to be a coach because I coach a different sport, but I take something from that. Keep it simple, man.
Give him some tissue.
Keep it.
You crying.
Come on, Tito.
I'm giving it emotion, man. I'm giving it emotion, man. Because listen,
Listen,
it's good to watch. When you're a coach, man, and that's what you do. Listen, man. I'm a play jacker. I'm a scheme stealer. Listen, if it works, I'm using it.
Right.
And that man showed me that if you got a system and they believe in what you say, they'll run through a wall for you. And there's nothing he can say right now. They be like, "Pop, you lying." He can tell them right now that the sky is actually green. Somebody gonna put a blind up. Let me just check and see.
And furthermore, to further accentuate that, the beauty of it being that is that you look at every player on the team. Matter of fact, even the 11th to 12th man down, they actually have a moment that they can reflect on where they did something in the series. Even the guy that scored like two, was it Bang? He actually had a couple of quality possessions, but like Patty Mills did, Kawhi Leonard certainly, Boris Diaw. When everybody's involved, everybody have a moment like, man, it's like a collage, it's like a greatest hits.
But that's what team is, though. Team, when you before you even take out the balls or when you first hit the field, if you're teaching, I just go back to something Pete Carroll said to the Seahawks. Every week is championship week, and in doing that, especially starting in the preseason. When you start from day one and let them know, look here, anybody that forces a shot or jack an ill-advised shot, I don't care that the next all McDonald's, you have a seat. You have got to send that message and let them know you can be the best player, but the best player is the best when he utilizes all the rest.
Okay. You know, and I heard Pop say something during the timeout that I keep going back to it, that I don't know if you got to be a coach to respect what he said. We gonna do what we do, and you don't. And if you're not a coach and whatever, and you know, my guys understand this. You don't know that little statement how much you done instilled confidence into your team. Yeah. You're putting a two-time defending champs. You're telling your guys, make them guard us.
Yes.
If we make an adjustment or change, it's because we said. I tell my team that we're not doing nothing. They gonna adjust to us.
And let me give
we come in here to run the ball. This week I saw something, I scouted somebody, we running it. Or this time, I don't like how the outside linebacker, both his feet is inside the box. We going on the edge till he get his feet right. They gonna adjust to us. I'm not adjusting to nobody. And when Pop made that statement, I said, wow, he just shot some confidence into some grown men that I do kids.
Yeah.
Right. You feel me?
Yeah. And see, to his point, on a micro scale, my son plays basketball, and I tell him, starts with defense and rebound. The key to defense is you dictate where the offensive player is going to go. That's the problem with the today BA. You watch these teams on defense, they are already sitting with their heels inside the three-point line, waiting for the offensive player to get to them. Well, you already at disadvantage as a defensive player because you stuck in the mud.
Because he already got.
He gonna boom. But I tell my son, you redirect him. Don't let him tell you where you're going to go or let him go where he want to go. You tell him where you're going to go. And that's what you're saying as far as I lost my train of thought.
It's still in that confidence in it that you're going to sit your program and do what you do. Like other week, I had my son at the in the backyard doing the grounded stuff for baseball. Yeah. He just kept saying, "Daddy, when we go hit?" I said, "We hit at the end. We do defense first. We do grounders first." I mean, you have to continue to do what you do it repetitively, and do it the right way. And when the time comes, it'll be all right. He's running out 7. That defense is going to win championship.
I didn't lose my train. I actually had thought I was going to have like a little skip moment there. No, a little skip moment there. But I messed it up. Moment? Yeah, I messed it up. But my point was dictate. You dictate. That's the point that we're trying to make here. You don't allow somebody to do something to you when you out there just like they are. I'm not going to let you go where you want to go. You're going to go where I say you're going to go. And that's what the Spurs did to them, man. And that should not happen. You understand? Again, I don't want to compare it literally. I'm just saying figuratively, so to speak, from that competitive standpoint. Yeah. I watched Mike and Bird and Magic and all of them. When even though Barkley lost to Jordan in 6, I was hard pressed. You know, I felt bad for Barkley because Barkley didn't quit.
He was the league MVP.
Thank you. He showed you why he was what he was.
Right.
And why Mike was Mike.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't say I'm this dude and then lose to a 3-year-old. And then talking about I'm just nah, man. Cut me in and cut it out. Okay, based on his finals performance, is LeBron a special kind of player that Cleveland wants to come back?
Okay, from the third person, LeBron is the special kind of player.
There's only 3
From the third person, right? LeBron is the special kind of player that Cleveland wants because Cleveland still believes, though their Twitters and Instagrams would suggest otherwise, they still believe that with him, you can win a championship. They believe that with him and Kyrie, you will win a championship. It's a lot. I tell you what, with him and Kyrie, you probably will go to the conference finals at a minimum and the East. Unless somehow, geographically speaking, Cleveland goes to the West, and then you'll see that they're a marginal team at best. But
Cleveland, not even in the league in the West.
That he is this special type of player that Cleveland would want. I would say he isn't because I think that he would get in the way. Like, I think at this point, LeBron should understand that if you try to lead the way you've been leading, it won't get you anywhere. 2 championships, while remarkable, is a failure. Just like the dynasty of the Lakers of the turn of the century was considered a failure because they only won 3 because of the way the team imploded. That team was built to win much more.
And they should have.
And they should have won much more, but the Spurs got in the way. They should have won much more.
Front runners.
But the point is, LeBron should understand. If LeBron comes to Cleveland and allows a point guard to be a point guard and learns to use his ability to pass and to handle the ball only in clutch moments, like Dial does, he will be much more versatile. Because again, he's still 6'9" and 270. He's a matchup problem for anybody on the floor.
It ain't got nothing to do with it. What you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is right.
Okay, that's one aspect. But now what about what's in that chest cavity? Right now it's looking like
what's in the chest cavity. Hold on, somebody can defer to that. What's in the chest cavity?
Listen. Right now, especially with all this mellow talk.
Yeah.
Man, you're gonna have all of the best players from that draft on your team. You're gonna need a super team to beat the San Antonio Spurs.
That's what it looks like.
Really?
You know what? It ain't gonna take a
Stop
super
it,
team.
man.
You know what? It's not gonna take a super team to beat the San Antonio Spurs. It's gonna be the team like the San Antonio Spurs to beat the San Antonio Spurs.
And they might not even beat the San Antonio Spurs.
Because first of all, it's funny when I see teams try to do things that's not them to try to get an edge or whatever. I knew when I heard LeBron say, yeah, we need to move the ball ain't sticking. Y'all ain't been moving the ball. Y'all, the ball always sticks. You know what I'm saying? San Antonio won again, because we keep going back to that, because they do what they do. Passing and cutting is not something he had to do. He may have called a timeout because they got out of pocket. But there's nothing they had to sit in front of a film study or in front of the camera like we are and say, okay, now look, you got to pass it right there. Okay, you got to cut right. No.
Yeah.
Move it.
Yeah.
Get back to doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? But again, to him coming back, like Gully said, man, I think people are lying to themselves, man. I believe it'll be a son, uncle, and a nephew, all with matching jerseys on, going to the game, man. I believe it'll be to that first dunk, or that first game-winning 3, or a game-winning jumper. Is done with.
You talking about with the Heat?
Huh?
You talking about with the Heat?
I'm talking with the Cavs. Because the question was, was he supposed to come back home?
Okay.
And again, I think
Cleveland is he a player that Cleveland wants, and I would say Cleveland.
Well, he's a player that Cleveland was definitely get the cramps.
And
his elbow will hurt.
He's not coming back by himself. I'll tell you that much.
Who he coming with?
I'll tell you that much. He ain't coming back by himself. Did he go to Miami by himself?
I did see Scottie Pippen in the gym the other day. And you know
sure
what?
did.
Karl Malone was
Now,
down
you
there
know,
too. Yeah,
guess what I saw see?
That's right.
Earl Boykins and Tim Hardaway.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Julius Erving was putting in his resume. He just met with that coach. Oh, man. Yeah.
Come on, coach. No, tell us who we're coming with. Don't just put it out there and not say you don't know who we're coming with.
I'm asking the question. Did he go to Miami by himself?
Yeah, he went to Miami by himself.
Did he? He
Yeah.
went Bosh with him.
Oh, okay.
He go play away. I'm telling y'all, me
I'm talking about when he first got on the plane. He went to Miami by himself.
Yeah, of course he did. He flew by everybody.
Well, anyway, it's been fun, y'all, but we got to run. And at the end of the day, we want to hear what you got to say. Email us at shopreport365@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter @theshopreport. And remember, y'all, next time y'all really want to know what's going on, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.
Rest in peace, Tony Gwynn.